Some messages comfort, some messages awaken. This is one of them. The fire came. The impurities surfaced. The hidden thing was revealed. But what happens next? What happens when the silver sees the impurity and chooses to keep it? What happens when God exposes something and we defend it? The greatest danger in refinement is not exposure. The greatest danger is resistance, because what we refuse to surrender eventually begins to shape us. And Jeremiah spoke of a silver that entered the fire, yet refused to be refined. Many people blame the fire. They blame the pressure. They blame the waiting. They blame the process. But the fire was never the problem. The furnace did exactly what it was designed to do. It exposed what could not remain hidden. The fire revealed the pride, the fear, the compromise, the divided loyalty. The issue was never the fire. The issue was what happened after the revelation. Sometimes God reveals something, and instead of surrendering it, we justify it. We rename it. We excuse it. We protect it. The very thing God is trying to remove becomes the thing we defend. The impurity becomes familiar. The compromise becomes comfortable. And what should have been surrendered becomes protected. There is a dangerous moment in every refining process. A moment when a person becomes comfortable with what God is confronting. Comfortable with bitterness. Comfortable with pride. Comfortable with spiritual distance. Comfortable with partial obedience. The longer an impurity remains, the more normal it begins to feel. And eventually, what once troubled the conscience no longer disturbs it. Yet the refiner does not immediately walk away. He waits. He calls. He gives opportunity, again and again. Because God's desire is not rejection. His desire is transformation. The fire remains available. The invitation remains open. The hand of mercy remains extended, but mercy should never be mistaken for approval. Patience is not permission. Delay is not agreement. The refiner waits because he desires surrender. Jeremiah's warning is not about a lack of opportunity. It is about a refusal of opportunity. The silver was heated. The silver was examined. The silver was given every chance. But the impurity remained, not because the refiner failed, because surrender never came. This is why Jeremiah called it rejected silver, not because it never entered the furnace, but because it refused the purpose of the furnace. The question is not whether God is speaking. The question is whether we are listening. The question is not whether God is revealing. The question is whether we are surrendering. What has God been confronting in your life? What has He brought to the surface? What has He asked you to release? Because the purpose of revelation is transformation, and the purpose of the fire is purity. The furnace is still burning. The invitation is still open. The choice remains yours. Some silver enters the fire. Some silver endures the heat. But only surrendered silver becomes refined. The refiner is not looking for perfection. He is looking for surrender. And what is surrendered today does not have to control tomorrow. This is Rejected Silver, Part 2. But the final chapter has not yet been told.